It's recording.
Hello, I'm Perry from. Well, I should start again. Hi, I'm Perry from Rennet and Rind. Another week of our mystery cheese boxes, week 11, I believe. And yeah, I wanted to run you through your cheeses so you know more about them and can enjoy them more. And I'm going to do it before it rains, actually, so I'm going to do it pretty fast, not too fast. Well, actually, probably the first thing I should say is thank you for supporting us. I think I said a few videos ago that we lost 95% of our business overnight with the restaurants. We came up with this concept because we had artisan cheese, which all the flies are gathering. Some artisan cheese, which was destined for Michelin-star restaurants that had no home to go to. So we came up with this concept, which is mystery cheese boxes to send out and get people a taste. And last week I managed to call round to a few of you guys to kind of talk you through and just say thank you. And it was amazing actually how many people have told me that their eyes have been opened to British cheese and that they never can probably have the supermarket stuff again, which I'm sorry for, but this stuff is so much better. If you've had a mystery box, you would know what I'm talking about. So once again, we have 5 British cheeses from farmhouses around the UK, small independent makers who are really struggling due to the coronavirus, and we're almost there, right? Restaurants are going to be open maybe 4th of July. You know, I'm not going to make a Boris Johnson type statement here. So we're almost there, and you guys buying these boxes has really gave them a lifeline to proceed until that day. And you know, one of the first cheeses that we have, which is Even Load, which is by David Jowlett, in Gloucestershire, Manor Farm. He was specifically having lots of problems because his cheese is very fresh, and obviously, you know, it degrades in quality. You know, and obviously he's got so much of it, he needed to get rid of quite quickly. So he completely shut down production, furloughed a lot of workers, you know, things that he had to do, and now he's making again, and we can enjoy his beautiful cheese because of you guys at home, you know, buying British cheese. You know, I don't, you know, I love that you support us and you buy from us, but if you're not au fait with online kind of thing and you don't want to do it, just get down your local deli, walk in there and demand to buy British artisan cheese. And they're lovely people. All cheesemongers, including myself, are lovely people. So, you know, they'll help you out and point you in the right direction. And if you don't know where to go, give me a call and I'll help you out. And I'll just say, yeah, this deli's here, or you can get it from us, or whatever. Anyway, enough about that. Thank you very much. Let's move on to the cheese. Even Load wash rind cheese. So wash rind cheeses are cheeses which are made and then bathed in like a brine. So essentially, you know, water and salt, and that kind of instigates a rind. And the first thing that you notice in characteristics of wash rind cheese is usually the rind is a little bit orange. This one's a little bit paler than usual, but you can see it's got these crinkly kind of edges which kind of come with, you know, if you think of the big like popular names of wash rind cheeses like Reblochon or Epoisse, this has those characteristics, so we can tell that it's wash rind. David is a superb cheesemaker. He makes roll right as well, which is an amazing cheese wrapped in bark and washed, kind of like the British Vacheron Mont d'Or to me. It's so gooey and unctuous. And they're coming online and they'll be on our store soon as he's ready and up to capacity. So let's try this bad boy then. Let's cut it in there. So the first thing you notice is that around the outside is quite soft, and then inside you've got this like lactic curdy kind of inner. So I'm already thinking territorial Wensleydale, that kind of style. I'm already going to get some, I think, some lacticness that's in there just because the way that the paste feels, the interior. So if let's just cut, very pongy as you'd expect from a, not too pongy in an odd way, like there's like a scent of kind of like peanuts, like peanutty actually, which I'm picking up, but not too strong. But obviously wash rind cheeses are going to be your smelly cheeses. These are the ones that are going to stink out your fridge and you need to get in Tupperware, you know. So really easygoing cheese, strong on the lactic kind of edge, good starter cheese, not too much legs but really pleasant. Texture is crumbly, and once it dissipates, slightly claggy, which is really nice. Really good cheese. like really kind of mellow flavors starting off with, and then there's kind of like raw, unflavored, unspiced, you know, peanuts, kind of that's what I'm getting from it. And then this huge dairy lactic edge, which I can detect. But beautiful cheese, beautiful British cheese, you know. The next cheese we have, I only got one knife, so I'll wipe it off, is from Devon, and it's made by Mary Quick, who is just awesome in the industry. She's the patron, you know, founding patron of the Academy of Cheese, which is something that I'm a tutor of. It's what these badges are about here. It's basically where you can go and learn all these things about cheese, about rennet, cheese making, rinds, affinage, you name it, you can learn it from there. And she kind of spearheaded the idea when the American Cheese Society, who already had something like that, wouldn't help us get ours off the ground. So, you know, stiff upper lip, British time, she got on with it, and Tracy and her do an amazing job at running the Academy of Cheese. It's a phenomenal institution, and if you feel inspired by what you're learning with me over the weeks, just look them up. As soon as social distancing and I understand that plan, I will kind of be doing more courses again, you know. So this is your cheddar, made in Devon. Typical cheddar kind of notes. What you can see on the rind, obviously you've got this yellow paste that's there. I can see speckles of the little tyrosine kind of crystals that are in there, which everyone really likes. The smell was like typical cheddar tang, like I can't get away from that. But it's really grassy and quite farmy, which may be seen, you know, farmy's not a bad thing. That's where your cheese is made. You want to know like how that feels like, you know, in that area. You want that terroir that's coming through. That's like amazing to achieve that. Beautiful, like punchy. Now this has been in my maturing rooms for quite some time, just as an experiment to try and work out where it's gone from, and get that harshness of that power of that cheese, you know, which some people love. Like loads of cheddar lovers, like I need Black Bomber, I need this, I need that powerful. But it sings on all these notes, which are really nice. You know, there's a starter culture. That's the thing that you put into the milk to create the cheese. So a cheddar or an Alpine style cheese, and there's a starter culture, which is a little bit of a cheap, the artisan cheese market think of, and it's called Helveticus. And it's kind of a quick way to get these sweet, savoury, salty notes, acidity kind of in there, but short experience. So most of the supermarket cheeses have this. So this has that edge, but huge amount of legs and huge amounts of power, which is phenomenal. That's a great cheddar. Some of the best actually I've tried from Quicks. Actually, I really like that. That's so if you've got that, this might be the best version of Quicks that I've tried. So that's about 16 to 17 months old now, maybe slightly longer. Next cheese we had is made by the legend that is Catherine Mead. We had this on the board about 4 weeks ago, but everyone seemed to love it. And we had it just after we had the French version, which is like Comté, and now we've got our British version, which is Kern. And Catherine Mead, I sing her praises all the time. She is the spearhead, the visionary behind Cornish Yard, which everyone just loves and knows and just respects, because it did a huge amount for the cheese industry, you know, to become what it is today. And yes, she made this cheese, took it to the World Cheese Awards, won it. So was one of the best, well, the best cheese in the world. I think 2017, but 1 year was the best cheese in the world, and rightly so. When you taste this, it will be phenomenal. It's one of my favourite cheeses. One of the small stories is this was kind of an experimental batch, and Catherine only had a few of it after the World Cheese Awards. So I would call her or email her month in, month out, saying, "Are we ready yet? Can you give it to me? Can you give it to me?" And Catherine Mead is just like a legend and probably doesn't even know it. She's so intelligent. She's obviously got an OBE, and whenever we go to a cheese event together, she's the one that kind of like, after a few glasses of wine, we'll walk around the cheese table, and we'll kind of do a little bit of an assassination on the cheeses, like really try and think about them and critique them, you know, not in a negative way, just try and get to the essence of what the cheese is. And she kind of takes me by the arm and walks me around, and she probably doesn't even realise she's doing it, but I appreciate it greatly that such a legend takes the time to spend some time with me to show me her view on cheese. smell like so beautiful. I mean, the smell is so Moorish already. It's like signature, you know, Alpine style cheese. You know, beautiful kind of nutty sweetness, dairy sweetness. You know, I know this is going to be lovely, you know, so I'll try it. Interior is just perfect. That, I say it all the time, Conte has this really familiar texture to me, and it's like a roux, you know, milk, flour, that kind of thing, where it's smooth but yet granular, like really fine, and it just covers your mouth. The mouthfeel is so pleasant, and then you just have this bounding kind of like savoury nuttiness, which is just lasting for so long, and just, you know, makes you just want to have more. On the outside is a plastic coat rind, so that everything that covers cheese is food safe. You can eat it, but it's not a good idea. And this is kind of like a thin wax layer, which is semi-permeable and keeps the moisture in the cheese, which allows it to have a far wetter paste that adds to the flavour and the style of cheese. And the coating is just beautiful. That's a terrific example. So if you're watching, Catherine, you've done a terrific job again. Next cheese is Ogleshield, and Ogleshield is made by Jamie Montgomery, who's a lovely guy down in Somerset. This is a cheddar style, but washed. And when it's washed, it's created a kind of similar cheese to raclette. So you may have seen like the videos on YouTube, which everyone loves, which is kind of like half a moon of cheese, and it's got like a grill on top, and it gets the top, they get some nice potatoes, and they kind of just you know, they scrape it off, and it looks like, everyone's like, oh my god, that looks beautiful. This is the British version. You go anywhere in the UK and they make one of the best toasties that you've ever had, no doubt it will have Ogleshield in. And this was between Jamie Montgomery, this invention, and Bill Oglethorpe, who's down in Bermondsey Spa, who makes some lovely cheeses as well, and a terrific cheesemaker, and Athenur. And this is just a really nice cheese, you know, pongy once again, but not. It doesn't affect the flavour like the even load, like we were talking about. You know, strong. Socks, pliant texture, you know, as we're breaking apart, it's sticking together. If you push it between your fingers, you're getting like this rubbery, but sort of, you know, it's not firm rubbery. Flavour is beautiful. Yeah, I think, you know, a lot of people write this cheese off because predominantly it's in cheese toasties and cooking, and raclettes, but on its own it's just superb as well. The texture is tacky, so it sticks, which is nice, and it's got those cheddar notes, but they're far more subtle. You know, if you eat some of this on your cheese board, it's very mellow, a little bit nutty as well. You know, fresh grass is in there, and if you don't eat all your cheese board, just grate this up and put it in a toasty as well. You know, cook with it, because that's when it will unleash more flavours, and you'll get those nice kind of stringiness that's in there, because it's beautiful, you know, water content. So the final cheese that we have is Shropshire Blue from Cropwell Bishop, which we had on about 6-7 weeks ago, but it seemed perfectly placed to have on now. The one that we had before was more aged, so it's got more of an aggressive, you know, that had a more aggressive edge to it, where this one hasn't. You know, as you can see, I'm just butchering the cheese. Don't worry about that, like I say every week, just get stuck in. That's the biggest homage you can pay to a cheesemaker. Enjoy their cheese and don't worry about the etiquette. Smell typical blue. You got that kind of, that bitter edge that kind of rushes up your nostrils, which is kind of pretty one-dimensional. You know, one-dimensional doesn't mean a bad thing. It just lets you know what you're eating, which is a good thing, right? Texture is beautiful. You know, easy. Nothing to ride home about, like in terms of the tackiness and the kind of textures, the roux. It's just a simple, on the tongue, firm, crumbly, dissipates, coats the mouth. Nice. Real strong argument on these two between the bitterness and the savoury, like they're battling it out, which is nice. when you want a challenging blue, there's kind of like this acidity which is overriding on the top, which is quite nice as well. Really well balanced. As I've mentioned before, the orange is from an annatto, South American food colouring that they place in some milk to get this colour. Beautiful cheese. The aroma, once you eat it, is very strong and pleasant. You kind of eat it and each chew kind of releases a burst and it kind of rushes up your nostrils and makes it quite wholesome. So looking at the board, we have quite a bit on acidity that's here. Quite a bit on acidity here. But in turn they actually complement each other well. We're looking at kind of like one style of cheese, which is going, not one style of cheese, but one type of cheese. And that string of the lactic and the acidity pulls all the way through it at genuine different levels, and it makes that kind of consistent, which is there. But once again, they are just phenomenal cheeses. In your mystery cheese box, you would have got tasting notes, which has all the details, pasteurization, everything like that. More information if I'm talking too fast for you.